Today's topic is going to be probably one you guys have been asking me for the past week now. Is it worth going for a second Implacable, or is it worth investing into a second Implacable if you already have a second one? To keep the matter short, it depends. I think that's like the best way to explain it. It's like it depends. So again, let's break down her kit. She has a really good barrage, 10% damage increase, negates detection gauge, airstrike does 100% critical damage. The first one is really good, right? The second one is utility, so freeze, slow, well, slow in this part, but it's it works for other fleets. So when right off the bat, again, it doesn't work for OS because you can't have more than one ship, so it's kind of pointless, right? And in terms of OS scenarios, there's multiple ships that are going to have slows as well too. So it's kind of like, why does it really matter, right? I mean, it helps if you don't have like a really stacked setup. Like, let's say for example, you want to run like Yorktown 2, Shinano, and Hakuryu, right? You're pretty much not going to get slows from the back line. If you are going to get slows, you're going to get from the front line. And if you guys run another fleet, carrier fleet, there's like Ark Royal, there's August von Parseval. There's a lot of ships that are carriers that can also slow as well too. So it's kind of it's kind of redundant or whatever to have this skill for cross fleet if you already have slows or whatever. I mean, it's a pretty good slow, don't get me wrong, but again, if there's other slows available, you don't really need like two slows. It's kind of pointless, especially when they stack up on top of each other. It's kind of like, yeah. So, not a fan of that. The last skill, though, it's nice to have if you play pure Royal Navy. I guess a scenario, if you guys want to work on a second one, is if you guys play full Royal Navy only faction. You want to run like two carriers, fleets, then Implacable is definitely a thing. But again, it doesn't work for OS, so it's kind of redundant. That being said, though, again, Implacable is going to be really good for Chapter 13 hard mode. It's going to be carrier-related stuff, and she's really good for carrier-related stuff as well, too. Anti-air, all that jazz, very, very good. The issue is, do you really want to invest into two Implacables just for the sake of Chapter 13 hard? For the most part, it is going to be challenging. Don't get me wrong, it is going to be challenging when it comes out. But making a second ship for the sole purpose of doing Chapter 13 hard is like, all right, what's the point? You're gonna get more cog ships, and that's pretty much it, right? Like the cog ships you spent on a second Implacable gets canceled out, if not even a deficit, from the hard mode gains you guys are gonna get, because you're gonna get cog ships for hard mode. So it's kind of redundant. Like it's pointless at that time. And again, OS you can't really use a duplicate, so it's pointless there as well. Meta fights are also one ships, so it's kind of pointless. So overall, it's definitely not worth getting a second Implacable invested into. Definitely not worth pulling for one as well either. But hey, if you really want to just blast out Chapter 13 hard, that can definitely be a thing. When Chapter 15 comes out, it may be useful. No idea what the map design is going to be for Chapter 15. You can if you want to. But I always try to do content with like unique ships, like one of every kind, not having duplicates, because that's like, what's the point, right? So not useful in OS because it can't be used. Can't be used in meta fights. Campaign farming is too easy, or event farming is too easy. Campaign is like Chapter 13 hard. That's pretty much it. And you probably spend more resources getting her up to 125 than you spend getting back from rewards or whatever. So not needed. Mainly, if you guys want to play pure HMS only for like campaign or events, then if you want to go for a second Implacable, go for it. But for like 99% of you guys, definitely not worth going for. So don't worry too much about it. Anyways, that answers that question. Thank you guys for watching as always. See you guys in the next video.